day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I am going to be making a card out of scraps, and I have a big folder of green scraps. So I picked out, this is Jelly Bean Green by GinaK, but you can use any color cardstock you'd like. This measures 10 inches by 7 inches. Scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, and creased it with my bone folder. And then I have 2 pieces of white that are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. One's going to be on the inside and one will be on the outside. And then I just have a scrap piece of this green that was left over from cutting out this cardstock. I don't think I'm going to be using this other than to help me with placement, because I'm going to cut out scraps of greens in 1-inch squares to put on this card. So I'm just going to go through my green folder here, and I can already see that that green would be pretty with that. That's probably not a 1-inch strip, but I can make do. I'm just going to pull some out here, see what we've got. No, wrong color green. Oh, that should be pretty with it. I don't think that one. Some of these may look familiar. I have a lot of green scraps for some reason. Let's see. That could go nicely. That. These two. Nope, wrong color green. I don't need a lot of green, I don't think. All right, so I've got some out here. Let me cut these up into 1-inch strips. So I'm going to put you on pause while I cut these all up, not these ones. And I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. I have cut up just a smattering. There might be 10 or 15 here, probably 15 to 20 possibly. Now, I'm going to use this Sunny Flowers stamp set from GinaK, and I'm just going to stamp a couple of these. And I'm using watercolor paper today because I'm going to color the flowers with watercolor. And I haven't decided what color yet, but I do know I want to use this. It looks more like a daisy or a sunflower. I just want to get a couple of these. And I have not used this stamp set yet, so I'm going to condition it. I'm just rubbing my finger across. And I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair Nocturne. And I'm just going to stamp a couple of these. I'll do one more. I may even leave them white. That's why I haven't decided yet. I need to see how all these little green pieces are going to come together on my card. I'm just going to flip this around. That way I don't have to move the stamp. You can move the stamp if you want to. Wow, I have all these. Static electricity is going strong in this house today. Another snowy and very cold day out. I think today's only supposed to get to like 32. We're staying in the double digits, so I think next week we're back down into the single digits. So, and then we have a lot of snow going on today, so it's a good day to stay inside and do things. All right, I will be stamping a sentiment later, but let me get started. I'm going to start by gluing the inside of my card in. And where'd my glue go? Oh, there it is. Fell out of the bottle holder that I had it in. Now, I could stamp on this if I wanted to. I think today I'm just going to leave this plain on the inside. And I can always come back later and add a stamp if I want to. All right, now for the front of the card, I'm just going to set that up there. My goal is I'm going to take these scraps, but I want to angle them at a corner angle and stagger them. And I'm kind of, oh, yeah. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. Let me see if I lay them out on here. I have an idea in my mind, and it's just not wanting to come to fruition. Maybe if I lay them on here, I'll get a better idea of how I want to put these squares down. Hold on, I got to put you on pause. Someone's ringing my phone. Okay, I'm back. 2 phone calls in a row. All right. I'm wanting to place this stuff down here, but I am getting a different idea in my mind right now. Yeah, I got 2 of those too close together. Let's put something brighter. I almost want to cut. I'm going to cut this into 1/4-inch strips. I'm going to use this after all, and this is upside down, of course. Okay, so 1/4 inch, that would be 1/2 inch. There's a 1/4 inch. I'm going to do 3 strips. I just have another idea. Don't know if it'll work. Today's just kind of a play and see, and I wanted to use scraps. Okay, what if I put strips and alternate? Again, I'm not good at being random. I try. This is a little too busy for me. Maybe if I move these closer. Let's move these closer together. I think that's what was getting me. Some of them I have turned sideways, and some I have them straight up and down. Okay, you know, I think that's what I'm going to do. Now, if I have a sentiment. I want to make this a get well card, and I have this get well soon. And if I put it up there, then I need to move my strips down. And then I can put the get well soon up here with flowers placed throughout. All right, I'm just gonna glue this down all right, so those 2 will go there. We're gonna try it, or I'm gonna try it, and you can watch me or choose to fast forward or skip this video. You know, you come down with a notion, and then you change your mind. And that's okay. And these, I'm going to glue these kind of straight up and down if I can get them. You could angle them. Okay. I'm going to move these other scraps out and keep these in the order that I have them on here because I like that order. think I've got enough glue on there. This may not be a good option, but you know, it's not gonna be horrible. I don't think. Well, it's looking better on camera than it is off camera. But I think it's going to be okay. I really do. My mind's eye, when I was doing this, was seeing a line go across the card and have all of these pieces lined up straight across. And that didn't, kind of like a river flowing down. So you get an idea and you play with it and then see what comes from it. And I think I want to do a partial emboss on this card, because I don't want to have this end embossed that I'm going to put my words on. But I think the embossing will help all of these pieces meld together better. I almost need something down here. So I'm going to put just a little piece and then I can cut the corner off this. All right, let me trim this with my scissors. And I really glued that down to my mat, but that's okay. All right, just going to cover up the glue I have here on my surface. I'll get that off in a minute. I'm just going to put you on pause while I grab an embossing folder really quick. Okay, now to do the partial emboss that I was thinking of, I needed a larger folder. So I have my Spellbinders. This was the embossing folder of the month for July 2023. I got to get the name on here and put it down. But I needed a larger folder because I only want to emboss that portion. So I needed to angle this. And now I'm going to need my large plates. And if I remember right on the other day's video for the Spellbinders, I just needed to use my mat to make it thick enough. Let's find out. Nope, it needs the top. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Okay, this wasn't thick enough. So I think if I add my metal shim and this, let's try that. And that has no, I'm just going to have to do this manually on my Spellbinders machine. So hold on. Okay. That is one wish of mine, that embossing folders would be consistent throughout. All right, so there I have a partial emboss. And it's just embossed right across there. So that'll give me room to put my stamp. So let me get my sentiment stamped on here, and then I can put the card together and work on the flowers. This is going to be a Get Well card. And I'm just going to use VersaFine Clear Nocturne. I think what I need to do is go through each and every one of my embossing folders and write on it what machine, what sandwich. I want to try and use all of them on my Anna Griffin machine. Now on my, I do have the original Cuttlebug, and I've got the sandwich down for all of those that will fit through that. The ones that don't fit, they don't fit at all, just because of the size of the machine. All right. Got my sentiment on there. Now let's work on the flowers, or let me work on the flowers. I'm back to saying let's. And I'm trying to avoid that habit. If this was we all had the same product and we were working at the same time, then it could be let's. All right. This is going to go down flat on here. I'm not going to use a shadow border. This is going to be the main. Well, that's all right. And I'm thinking I might leave the flowers just white, but I'm going to find out. I'm just going to set this aside with my acrylic stamping block on it. I'm going to fussy cut these flowers out. And I'm not very good at fussy cutting out and keeping a consistent border that is wide, so I am cutting these out with a narrow border. And I'm not perfect at that either. Fussy cutting is not one of my favorite things to do. I do know the trick is to move the paper and not the scissors. Another reason that I was glad that dies came out. I'll have to look. Some of these that I don't have dies for, I'm going to have to go back and see if maybe they do have dies for them. I do have that machine, the Scan and Cut. However, it is just a very expensive paperweight. I got it to work a couple of times, like maybe 3 times, and then the mat is worn out, and those mats are so expensive, and it was just too much of a hassle for me. I tried watching some videos on how to use that, but as I say, it's been sitting over there for a couple years now, and I was not honestly impressed. I had so many great expectations for it. And now it's just a giant dust collector on the other side of the basement. I think when I put it away, I needed to take it apart and clean something on the bottom I'm thinking like the camera window or whatever. But it honestly, it just wasn't worth the hassle to me. I'm much more happy doing this kind of stuff. I like technology, don't get me wrong. But I'm also finding I'm moving further and further away from using my Cricut. I still use it for sentiments that maybe I don't have. And my friends use it on scrapbooking night, but I pretty much don't use it anymore. Now, I've got a couple flowers. I'm not real happy with the flowers. Maybe just one flower. It's looking awful plain. Okay, I'm going to take one flower and I'm going to color it. Let's try, we got some pink in here. I'm going to try just watercoloring. This is a rosy pink. I'm just going to try one of the flowers and see how it looks watercolored. Maybe that will make the difference I'm looking for. Well, that does add a little, yes, that adds something. All right, so I'm just going to watercolor this. And I'm just using my Crayola washable markers. You don't have to have anything real expensive. Use what you have. If you have kids or grandkids that have the washable markers, that's what you need. And you can just scribble it on, you can scribble it onto the paper itself, but it's a little harder to get it to flow. So if you scribble it onto something first, you could even use a plate if you had it, or a trivet, just anything that you have that is a slick surface to scribble your color on. And then you don't need this water brush. You can just use a plain old kid's paintbrush with a little bit of water in a cup. I like the water brush because I can put the water inside, and then if I need more water, I can squeeze it out. Now I'm thinking I want to take a green and color the center of the flower green. Let me see. Yeah, I think that okay, I'm going to do both of these flowers in pink. And this is like a dusty rose pink. There's no names on these Crayola markers, but it's the dusty pink in there. I got these, I want to say 2 years ago. I was watching a GinaK video about things that would be great for Christmas gifts for card makers. And she had these mentioned. And I said, oh, those are fairly inexpensive. You can get them at Walmart or wherever. These ones I did get from Amazon because I could get a larger colors. And I just put them in an old cat treat container box. And they work very well. You can mix colors. You can take, if you don't have a green, you can take your blue and yellow marker and scribble right on top and mix the colors together right on your desk. It was kind of fun just to color like you were a kid again. Make it a little bit more darker. And I think I am going to take green to the center of these flowers. I'm just going to clean this up with a tidy towel. And I don't want a dark green. I kind of want like an olivey green. Let's see. That one. Okay, that first one. Let's mix them together and see what I come up with. A different shade. And now ink it up. And I'm going to try it on a scrap of this watercolor paper right here. Yes, I think if I water it down, that will be a good color. Here goes nothing. All right. Okay, I'm liking that much better. Still, this is not going to be my favoriteest card in the world, but it might give you an idea to use up your scraps. I have done a card in the past where I took 1-inch squares and just covered the whole front with the 1-inch squares. All right. I think we'll add a little bit of bling, and this card's going to be good to go. My marker's back. All right. And, I think I might go with the pale pink since I have the pink in the flowers. Let's add some pale pink. But I want to put these flowers down, and I'm going to pop them up. I've got some foam circles that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I just want to put one in the center. I think these colors remind me of spring, and today's the day we need reminded us that spring will be coming. All right, now let's add some pink bling. Let's see. Well, I think I want to put a little tiny one up here somewhere where this placement one just is off a little bit. So if I move this one down and put a little tiny one up here. All right, what do you think? Not too bad. Now it is actually looking better in person than it does on camera, as before it was vice versa. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Get your scraps out and play around with them. See what you can come up with. Try some different patterns, designs, and I would be interested to see what you come up with. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.